Example 6 says the size of the civilian labor force in millions for selected years from 1950 and projected through 2050 can be modeled by y equals, where x is the number of years after 1950. And so what is this being modeled by? That is being modeled by the size of the civilian labor force. Okay, and I guess we could keep underlining in millions. Okay, so let's begin by graphing this, because then it wants to know, when will the model project the civilian labor force to be in 2015? And what year does the model project the civilian labor force to be at 163 million? So we can use our graphing calculator to answer those two questions. So let's start by graphing. So we need to figure out what my X min and my X max is. So if it is from 1950 and projected through 2050, and X is represented by the years after 1950, this will be 0, this will be 100. And then we'll go zoom 0. Okay, so this is quite a little equation here. Type this in, make sure you have enough zeros. And then don't forget this over here. I hate splitting up equations, but it happened. Okay, and then I'll go zoom. Nope, I'll go window, 0 to 100, and then zoom 0. Here's what my graph should, goodness, look like. I don't know why this keeps happening. Okay, third time this lesson that we have this huge chunk of my graph that I don't need at all. So go into window, and I don't need a negative y value here. So we'll go 0. Oops, that's not any better, is it? So did I type this in wrong? Let's look. Oh, I forgot my decimal here. Okay. So window, zoom 0. Ah, much better. Okay. So what does the model project the civilian labor force to be in 2015? So in 2015, because we're talking about a year, we are talking about my X. And what does my X equal in 2015? Well, what is 2015 minus 1950? And that's going to give me 65. So we'll use trace 65, enter. And I get 160. And I'm just going to go ahead and write all of that, actually. Y equals 160.5675. And what are we talking about? That's the size of my labor force in millions. So I'm just going to put million. My math lab will probably tell you how to round. I'm going to write all of those. And then B is the opposite. In what year, so I'm solving for X, does the model project the civilian labor force to be 163 million? So I'm going to put this into my Y2. And then I will find my intersection. So since I've been writing all of the instructions for a max and for your 0, let's just go ahead and do it here too. We're going to go back into calc, which is second trace. And then we'll go to number 5, intersect. And then we will hit enter times 3. go into your Y2, we'll make that 63, nope, 163. Hit graph, hopefully we see the intersection. And that is really good. So we'll go into calc. So we've already used 0 and max. Now I'm using number 5, intersect. Enter, enter, enter. And we get 66 point, we'll call that 89. Okay, it wants to know what year, so that's about 67. So 1950 plus 67 means that we are in 2017. Which does follow the pattern, because in 2015, I was about 160 million. And so now 3 more million means not many more years later.